Welcome to the show, listener. On today's episode, every line is going to end in rhyme. The only difference is you don't know when the line is ending. So the line could in fact be the whole, or it could be a little bit. Oh wait, my mic. Up. Okay, hold on. Okay, we're back. That kind of threw off my not really joke.
But it didn't, because you said you never know when the line's going to end, even if the microphone disconnects.
Even if the microphone disconnects, you never know. First of all, you don't know which line is going to be the one that rhymes and when it's going to end. So it's going to be a mystery. Stay on your toes for today's episode, please.
Hey, that did rhyme.
Did it?
Unintentionally. Line, rhyme, toes, and episode. Close enough.
But that toes and episode. Now that's a bit of a stretch.
Hey, in rap, that's close enough. That's fine.
Okay.
The rule of close enough applies.
I would love to hear that used in a context. Like, I want to see those toes in the next K-On! Episodes.
Yeah, there you go. You'd probably say episodes, because then obviously you got toes, episodes. So
Yeah.
I want to see them Mayo toes.
Okay.
Which
Ice
K-On!
Cube.
character would I like to see the toes of?
No, Ice Cube. Which character would he want to see the toes of the most?
I think Moogie would be the kind of girl that rappers would go for, I think.
Yeah?
Rich white girl, like wealthy white girl,
Okay.
seems to be like that kind of, she got them thick eyebrows and all,
She has got them thick she got thick brows.
She got them man.
See, I feel like Ritsu would be the one most likely.
She's
to
the most
be a
likely to be.
rapper.
Yeah. Yui, no chance. Azusa, no. Because, if I know anything about people in America and rappers, I don't know why I didn't just say black people then. I don't know why I was like skirting around it so carefully to not go. If I know anything about black people. Not all black people, I'm just going to say
it's even worse when you just whisper it.
Yeah. One of those people. One of those individuals.
Yeah. It makes it even worse.
If I know something about popular black culture is that they like dem curves, and Azusa does not have dem curves. But which one among us does not like dem curves? Unless you're into lowly, but then I don't think anyone is here.
Are you talking about Demi Lovato's curves when you say dem curves?
Dem curves. No.
That'd be Dem's curves.
No,
Fair
because
enough.
anyone who's a heroin addict doesn't have curves. Because they lose weight and... That's topical, right?
What a good start to today's episode.
She only had that heroin. That story came out a year ago, so it's okay. It's included.
Yeah. We're talking about only current events. Did you guys hear about Lindsay Lohan's
Coke binge?
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about Miley Cyrus and this crazy new turn of events?
Did you guys hear that what was her name? Zoe Lynn Spears. That was Zoe 101. Was her name actually Zoe, or was it? No, it was Jamie Lynn Spears.
Britney Spears' little sister?
Yeah. Did you guys hear that she got pregnant
From
as a
Dan
teen?
Schneider? I have heard
Guys,
that.
I don't want to alarm you, but there's some awful troubling rumors about Michael Jackson and children.
Oh, no.
Oh, shit.
Did you guys hear that this is a new episode of the podcast?
Thank you, Manimal. Thanks for giving us that. It is. It's welcome to the Manga Rays Happy Hour, episode 189. 11 and counting, just 11 to go until we're at that big bad boy that we call the big 200.
This is the mayonnaise episode of the podcast.
The mayonnaise episode.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise. Is it the mayonnaise or the mayonnaise?
Listen up. Why does McDonald's have a sauce called the Mayo style sauce when it could just be called Mayo? What's Mayo style sauce? What's next? Ketchup style sauce? Why not just Mayo? What about it is Mayo style?
I think because legally they can't call it actual mayo.
Maybe it's not actual mayo, yeah, so maybe they have to say it's like...
Oh.
Do you know American cheese slices like that you get for like a hamburger
Kraft.
or something?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Kraft, and they call them singles.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have seen some that are like cheese style singles or cheese flavored singles because you can't say it's cheese.
They're usually listed as cheese product.
Okay.
Anything that's called product, anything that has the suffix of product, like meat product, it's like, ugh.
Yeah, that just sounds
See,
bad.
honestly, what it is that well, mayo contains raw eggs, so maybe it's a shelf life thing.
Yeah, it does.
Imagine
Get rid of the
raisins,
eggs.
son.
If you get rid of the eggs, it's not mayo at all. Not even
imagine
close.
imagine making mayo with non-raw eggs. I love how I just said I could have just said ripe
Non-raw.
eggs or whatever. Non-raw eggs. As if food is only raw or non-raw.
It is. It's non-raw. How'd you like your
it
steak?
is.
Non-raw. Oh, that
Yeah,
works.
yeah, I just love it, yeah. Look. Today I had a drink of Diet Coke that was like probably over like 10 years old, like in a bottle.
Wait,
So
what?
we just crack one open, and I just took a drink. I spit it out right away. First of all, because it's Diet Coke, and then second, it just tasted foul as fuck. Holy shit, it was bad.
Why did you do that? No.
Because
Why
it'd be
would
funny,
you?
like, because there were two of them. There were two of them, and we're both idiots. So we were just like, taking a sip.
Fair enough. Just
Because
take a sip, man.
we found them or I didn't find them. The other guys found them, and it was just like, let's just take a sip. They're sealed.
Yeah, I suppose. What's the worst that can happen?
You know those people who like eat like army rations and shit like that from World War II.
I know exactly what you're on about because I am subscribed to a guy, and he has over 1 million subscribers. I don't know how, and I don't know why I watch them, but I watch
Yeah, but
every video.
it's kind of interesting though, isn't it?
And he's like,
I mean, it's the same reason Red and Link have a career. You're just curious what the thing is. Like, it's not gonna be good, but it's fun to watch someone else eat it.
Like, if I was watching him do it, like, I watch him do it, and he's just a normal-ass guy who just has it, and, he doesn't, give some incredible commentary. He just sort of goes, oh, yeah, this is nice, and, oh, this is all right, yeah.
How about some rations from the Bay of Pigs?
He had some Finnish rations, this guy. I watched that just because of you.
Did it have pirkas and bull?
No, I don't actually remember what it had.
Black licorice? Salmiakki root?
Maybe? I can't remember. I know it had some, like, pig brain pate or some bollocks.
Oh, I've never heard of that one
I was
before.
like, ugh.
Do you know what I learned? Funny enough.
Go on.
Nobody in America eats mutton, right?
Yeah.
Nobody. And it's not because we never eat mutton. We used to eat a ton of mutton, but then World War One, soldiers overseas ate so much. Well, World War One and World War Two, there were so many goddamn like cans of mutton soldiers ate that by the time they get back, they just didn't want to fucking eat mutton anymore.
What the fuck's mutton?
Sheep.
Sheep.
Oh.
So you got lamb,
it's like,
and then you get sheep.
Yeah. Lamb is young sheep, and mutton's mature sheep. Same
Hold
way
up.
that you get veal and beef.
Hold up. Lamb and sheep are the same thing?
Yeah, lamb's just a young sheep.
What?
Yeah,
They're the same animal.
So Mary had a little lamb, but she actually had a sheep?
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
but a lamb's like
sheep.
the baby. So like how you
It's
would call
like
a child a
saying
baby.
Yeah, like it's a child.
So the band could also be called the Sheep of God?
I guess.
Yep. Which, in a post-punk world is a very different kind of ideology, I guess.
Wait, I didn't actually... Okay, lamb and sheep. Okay, that makes
Oh, when you Google lamb, the first thing that comes up is like a lamb chop, and then it's a little baby lamb. I love lambs. Lambs are cute as fuck.
But they're delicious.
Lions
I've never had
eat
lamb.
Lamb meat is delicious. However, I cannot bring myself to eat it. I am a huge hypocrite when it comes to meat eating. I hate the idea that someone suffered for my food, but I can't not have a diet that consists of meat. So
Because it tastes too good.
yeah, and I'm fussy as fuck when it comes to veg. Like there's probably about a dozen veg that I eat. That's it. And fuck, because mushrooms is like a replacement that people use for veg, don't they? Like they go, oh, I'll have a mushroom, whatever the fuck, instead of
Why do you keep pronouncing vag wrong?
veg.
That was
Vag.
just a bad-
That's
that
how
was-
they say vegetables.
That was just a bad joke. I'm
There's
sorry.
only a dozen vages that I enjoy.
That was just
I
a
mean,
bad joke.
if
I
you got a dozen,
apologize.
that's a pretty good ratio, I think.
That's enough to tide you over for the rest of the life. I would say you'd be happy.
They say most guys say they've had sex with like a dozen women. The truth is usually it's like 3.
Yeah. If anyone, whenever someone tells you their total, just halve it. Halve it, and that's probably what it is.
What is it?
More like a quarter. I think like the average person has 3 to 4 sexual partners in their life.
I think I think that.
Nah. Go on, sorry, Manimal.
No, I think it's like Charlie Sheen and Gene Simmons claim to have like the record of the most people they've had sex with.
Yeah, in their defense, no, they are rock stars who will literally have women throwing themselves at them.
Oh yeah, like and Gene Simmons used to take like Polaroids of all of them back in the day, like back in the 70s and shit. And he'd save like pubic hair and stuff and put them with the Polaroids. Like he had a whole album of this shit. Yeah. And like
hey, let me get the Polaroids out.
There is a passage in I think Peter Criss's book where he talked about how Gene would sing and with like period blood on his teeth and shit. Like he wouldn't brush his teeth before the show.
Okay, going down on a girl with period who was on the period, having sex with a girl on period is normally out. Like that's out the window at that point. If there's blood all up in my shit, I'm not about it. Going down on someone on a period is a whole nother. I guess I'm not a rock star, so I'll never know. Maybe you get bored of just doing the norm. Like once you've plowed 1,000 girls, maybe you're bored of the normal shit and you want to try something a little more interesting. I guess we'll never know. Until this podcast takes off like mad, and then, whoo, boys, we are going to have otaku beans for,
Otaku beans instead of coffee brand.
I don't know. We're going to have
the finest otaku beans. It's specifically like weebs that pick the beans.
Yeah, there you go. The weebs
I hate this shit with coffee companies and shit like Tim's and all that. They're like, yeah, we pick every bean. Like, fuck off. No, you don't. You tell me you inspect every bean. Like, they make like you can't do that. You can't have somebody expect it. Like, they'll take like lifetimes to inspect every coffee bean.
Some child in Peru is inspecting those beans.
Yeah, like, going, that's fine. Bullshit that these are hand-picked beans. For all I know, there's probably bits of like shit and like how you're talking about like, your dog shit coffee. How do I know they're not mixing like shit, like literal like shit pellets in there?
Now I don't know if this will make you feel better, but there is literally shit in everything you eat.
Mm-hmm.
There's the average. You have like I think some of it more than you would expect. Actual shit on your body right now.
There was a series of books I loved before when I was a kid, like the Just books, Just Wacky, Just Disgusting, Just Stupid, those books. And there was a factoid in there, I think it's fake, I don't know, where it was like all the dirt under your fingernails is like literal fecal matter and peanut butter.
I mean, the first half of that, I would probably say, because no matter how careful you are, like, because people say, don't they, like, how dirty, like, your hands could be or your mouth. There's that thing that people say about your mouth is dirtier than, like, the toilet seat if you clean it, which I could see, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess so.
Look, we're basically covered in germs, but it's fine because the numbers sound bad, but turns out we're really good at not, like, just dying all the time.
Yeah.
Because we're evolved not to.
And also,
thanks, apes.
I'd rather
thanks, Homo sapiens. Wait, we're Homo sapiens?
We are Homo sapiens.
We are Homo sapiens.
We have to thank the Neanderthals then.
We should also
for what exactly?
I don't know. I'm sure they like had some fucking like germs and shit, and then died, and then eventually figured out to not have germs.
Yeah, but we're not all descended from Neanderthals.
Wait,
we're not.
Germs,
hold up. I don't. Wait, I thought that we like Neanderthal. And then, like,
okay, you and I in Vacant here are definitely descended from Neanderthal, but not all humans are, because they're not this. Neanderthals and Homo sapien were not the same species. They came about independently, not entirely independently. They were basically cousin species. Those humans Homo sapiens went to Europe, interbred with the Neanderthal, and those that didn't, obviously didn't. So, like. You'll find Neanderthal DNA in pretty much in most people, but like it's mostly in Europeans. Then it's like Asians, and then I think there's a little bit of Native American Neanderthal blood going on. And I think for the most part, if you're from Africa, you don't have any.
Okay.
Basically, the breakdown.
That makes sense. What do you know? We're getting a little history lesson about Neanderthals.
We should probably as well introduce ourselves because we're about 10 12 minutes into the show. So, my name is Simon, Ben known as Vacant. I want to go on record earlier and say I do indeed love black people. I love all people, but, just wanted to make that clear. Me and
Are you preemptively apologizing?
Bros. Yep, because that's the day and age we live in. So there you go. So I appreciate.
Apology.
Well, it wasn't an apology. He never said sorry.
Fuck you if you were offended by my words. I don't give a fuck. I didn't say anything bad. I said black people like curves on their women, and quite frankly, so do I. So if that makes me black, then so be it.
It's definitely within the zeitgeist that curvaceous women are popular.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But, some take it too far. I've had a couple of black friends who seem to be... I say that. That's not a bad thing. I'm gonna preface this statement, actually. I'm going to be very careful.
I got a couple of black friends.
Well, I have, but I've got... who shared the same trait, where they're chubby chasers. Like, they like their girls big. You know what I mean?
So they love that A&W chubby chicken. Then
they love their girls big. But they can.
Oh no! Only one who understands any of your references to A&W.
Wait. Did you just fucking make a fried chicken joke? Is that what you've just done?
No, you said chubby chicken, so I thought of chubby chicken, like the chicken burger at A&W. It's not even fried. It's not even fried chicken.
It's not even. It's okay. It's okay.
Or is it? I don't actually know. I never had it. Just when I hear chubby chaser.
How would you know what it is then?
Because it was on the sign outside the building. So when I hear chubby chaser, I think of chubby chicken from A&W.
I always love the line from the Dave Chappelle stand-up when he's saying about how people take the piss out of each other's food. And he's like, people insult us because, and say that black people like fried chicken and watermelon. And he's like, motherfucker, if you don't like fried chicken and watermelon, the problem is with you.
Yeah, it's fucking
like,
good
that's
food.
True. Fried chicken and watermelon are some of the best things on the planet.
Yeah. Mexicans eat beans, tacos. English people have garbage food, apparently.
I don't know if it's apparently. I think it's just
Canadians eat.
I think you just eat too much fried shit.
And milk in bags. Let's just insult everyone. China eats rice. I don't know what else.
Are you gonna insult rice? Because rice is like fucking good ass.
Koreans.
Shit, bro.
What's the thing people say about Koreans? Oh, they eat dogs. That's what everyone says. That's the first thing anyone brings up about Koreans. I just want to preface that I love every single race.
I think that's an official thing. Is that Sarah's dog in Korean cuisine?
Oh yeah. Also, I think is it outlawed? No, most. Well, it's not illegal, but they're kind of
illegal.
Turning against it.
Popular. Is it Korea or China that has the dog festival still?
I want to say Korea, but I don't 100% know. But probably China because anything goes in China.
Well, dog festival's fucked up. I get it, it's tradition, but you're also like horribly murdering dogs.
Let's have a dog to eat tonight.
And I also understand within history, like the fact that we kept pets only started like 200 years ago, but
Man, imagine if like I decided that it was culturally relevant to start like a deep fried rat festival. Where we went to like garbage sheds and picked up rats and deep fried them and then held a festival and said it's my culture. I deep fry rats.
You probably wouldn't get stopped because you can probably get away with anything now. If you say it's like relevant to something and you're like, yeah, no, this is my answer. This is a Finnish thing, guys.
Yeah, this came deep from the villages of Yakima. The deep fried rat.
If you just say it with enough conviction, people would probably believe it. Like,
have you ever heard of Yakima? I'm sure you haven't. So you don't know.
That's true. I couldn't tell you if it is, but that's Manimal, by the way. That you've just heard, virtual left, deep fried rat guy. He also loves all races and respects all people on this planet as well. And last but not least is Matt, better known as Corin.
That's a lie. It's a lie. Don't believe him.
It's a lie. Matt doesn't respect any race on this planet.
That's not true. I'm talking about the first part.
Oh, okay. He dislikes all of you equally.
No, not true. I love people.
No. I would say Matt's probably the most
I like
tolerant.
people that I like people that I like.
Yeah.
Very possible.
No, tolerant. No, tolerant's the wrong word. What's the word I'm looking for? You're the least likely to call someone a cunt, I think. Like, you wouldn't go out your way.
He's also not British like you, so...
What would be the equivalent?
If an American calls someone a cunt, you really have to get that American worked up.
Really? Stupid cunt. That comes out. Like, someone could cut you off when you're driving and just go, you fucking cunt. The fuck are you doing, you fucking cunt? Get off the fucking road. Like that kind of thing. Or anything. Or someone could, like, my mate, he says he's going to make me a brew during his break. Doesn't. You fucking cunt you are. Hope you fucking kill yourself on the way home.
Okay, when I hear brew, I always think of, like, beer. But I guess it's coffee.
It is a coffee. It's a tea, actually. Well, technically it's a tea, but for me it's coffee.
Because when people are like, yeah, I'm having a few brews.
Having a few bevs. A few bevies with the boys. I am drinking on this one, actually. The following podcast is sponsored by Asahi Beer.
Oh, man, that's what I'm drinking, too.
Are you? Oh, Beer Dap. Through the internet, somehow. There we go. You heard it first there. We did the happy hour Beer Dap. 2 at the bottom, 1 at the top.
This is an official sponsorship.
Well, you on, Corin? You're on Asahi as well. I just know it.
I wish I was. I have nothing to drink.
Oh.
I don't even have water.
Oh,
because we did like 4 of these things last week.
That's true. You were drinking on every single one. So, 4 top secret things. Because remember, we weren't recording 12 Days of Christmas because we do them each day live. Just, you know.
Each day they come at you.
Once live, every time.
As soon as it comes out of my mouth, it goes in your ear. Ugh.
That's what I tell all the girls.
Fuck.
Pardon me. No, I had a lot of these. I'm gonna go straight into tips and dips.
All right.
Tip for the previous 20 minutes of conversation, I guess. There we go. I enjoy that. Tip. It was my 29th birthday. That's why I'm drinking, because I've been gifted a whole.
Oh no!
boatload
I didn't
of
say
Asahi.
happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday!
Hey!
Happy
Thank you.
birthday! It's your birthday.
Happy birthday,
So
big boy!
this cupcake.
Enjoy the last year of your 20s.
I know, it's getting scary, isn't it? I'm going to be the big 30, the big 30 this time next year, which is pretty fucking crazy. It did have me, to be fair. Normally I don't care about like birthdays and ages and stuff, but it did have me like one evening. I was just looking back and going, the fucking decade's gone. I was 19 this time.
Oh, no.
This time, 2009, I was 19. Got the whole world ahead of me.
Yeah,
What
I'm
the fuck
dealing with
happened?
that because I was graduating high school.
Oh,
So quite a ways off.
it's
but-
pretty crazy.
Man,
What the real thing is, I know it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck, especially in my office, because we have a beer stein
Mhm.
that says "You're 30," or something along those lines. And
Wow.
it's passed around to the next person to become 30, so you can stare at it and know your fate.
well, it's I'm just gonna enjoy being 23 while I still am.
Don't you worry, because that is going to go in a blink of an eye. If you are listening right now and
Yeah.
you're in your 20s, enjoy where the fuck you are, because it disappears fast as fuck. Life doesn't slow down. You hear all the time old people talking about where the time went and they blinked and they were 40. I understand now, because these last 10 years have just gone. And people tell me it doesn't get any better. It's just going to carry on going quicker and quicker before inevitably I'm going to realise that I'm 50-something and have no time to do anything left.
I'm
And
50.
that-
What the fuck am I still doing this podcast for?
Well,
None of the guys even come on anymore.
See, it's weird because, like, I think of me being 23, and I remember a very specific moment when I was 23,
Mhm.
walking home from campus in the snow, back in college, going, being 23 is weird. But then I think back to 24, and that feels like fucking yesterday.
Man, I'd
Yeah.
love to just fuck yesterday. Like, put the sausage right in it.
Time went so fast after graduating college and getting a career.
Yeah, it's weird because I've held 4 different jobs. And the previous 3 I was at for about 2 years each. And those 2 years feel like that'd be a fucking arc. That's a story arc, those 2 years of my life. I've been at my current job for over 5 years, and it feels like 6 months. I don't know where the time's gone. It's fucking mental to think about it. It's only when you really sit down and consider it, and I'm like, shit.
You know, it was the moment when I could no longer recall every Christmas.
That's when you know.
You knew it's over.
Uh-oh.
But it's not over because you just keep living and you just keep getting over. That's how life is sometimes, man.
And you have a little child and you pass on the podcast to him.
When you think about it, like
we could pass on the podcast to our children.
Oh fuck! Wouldn't that be weird as fuck? When I turned 20, I felt very melancholic and I was very sad that day. But then now I'm just like, cool. I'd rather be this age than 16.
Yeah, your 20s is just the slow realization that A, you are not going to die anytime soon, and B,
hopefully.
Oh shit, I'm not going to die anytime soon. Look, great chances are you're not going to die anytime soon. vast majority of percentage is you're going to live till 80. It's true now. It's always been true, man.
Well, I just think like if we just keep focusing on our age and shit like that and this and that, it's not very helpful.
No.
You know? And like if all you do is you just say, "Oh, I'm this age," like because I've been like thinking that forever, you know, and it's not helpful to be like, "Oh yeah, what is no this or that," because it's like ultimately what we have is this whatever we are right now. So let's just be that. Because then imagine you 29 right now and you're like imagine being like 49 and being like, man, I wish I could be 29 again.
Yeah. No,
so
I'm
like
with you. I'm totally with you.
Any time period that passes, you always wish you can go back to that period. Oh, I wish it could be, I don't know, fucking mid 2015 again. But in that time, I was like, I wish it could be 2013 again. Like you're always looking back.
2015 was a nightmare because Trump was already in the news. But
I don't define my fear by politics. But
I mean, it's kind of dominating these days.
You've got the impeachment. You've got the British election.
Oh my God! And you got your one of your princes not doing something anymore because he had sex with girls. But
hey, he was at the Pizza Express in Woking.
Yeah.
So even.
But I think the main thing is after you turn 30, you start like degrading physically and not getting better anymore.
Uh-oh.
I think that's the real turning point.
So
and that's just going to be the acceptance you have to have in your 30s. In the 20s, you accept you're going to keep getting older. In the 30s, you have to accept that you're going to get older, and that's also a bad thing.
Uh-oh.
Because in your your mid to late 20s, you're just kind of adding extra years on. It's not affecting you. You don't notice it, really.
Yeah, and then it all comes crashing down the day you hit 30.
Well,
that's not true, but live your life well.
How about we just? What if everyone just focuses on just getting there and just day by day? What's today? What's this or that? Because I've worried about this a lot, and I'm worried about what happens when I'm this age. Then I'm just like, I have to get there first, and the way you get there is by every day. So if you worry about being 40, there's still that whole span of time before you turn set age or whatever, and that's still all those days.
The thing is,
if you just keep worrying about the future, then you're just gonna miss what's in front of you.
And also, because I always think of it as well, people around me, I never consider the age of them. Like, one of my closest friends is 22. I mean, you're 23. I never consider. I don't think you are X amount of years younger than me, or so and so is blah blah blah, or close to age. You're just people. You know what I mean? Age can come into it if it's certain things like inexperience or taste in things, especially very specific things when you're a kid. There was things that obviously, if there's a 6-year difference between us, what we liked as a kid and what you liked as a kid would be slightly different because obviously
this would be a very different story if we were 16 and you were 10.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe I had 10-year-old friends when I was 16.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Speaking of Jeffrey Epstein. But
cut the lights.
But
Stop
anyway,
the camera.
It matters less as you get older because the age difference is relatively smaller.
Exactly. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, Go on, sorry.
You know, I always used to like to talk to older people, but now I've found that I like to work with younger people because they're more fun.
Yeah, they are. Anyone can be fun. Doesn't matter your age. You just be the funnest person you can be.
Yeah.
There we go. We've gone all deep. Shall I bring us back up to a nice happy hour-esque level?
Yeah, here, how
Please.
about we're on tips and dips? That was your whatever dip or tip or whatever.
Tip for birthday. Hey, I made it.
So, yeah, there you go. So, I'll give you a tip. And that is, well, I don't know, it's kind of whatever. I don't know if I talked about Bandmaid's new song, Reincarnation, I don't think so. So Bandmaid have two new songs out from their upcoming album next month, and Reincarnation they have a video for. It's pretty good. It's kind of like a classic, typical Bandmaid track, but there's some pretty cool riffs. Kaname's solo's neat. The music video is cool as fuck. And today they released a new song, "The Dragon Cries," which is produced by what the fuck, Tony Visconti or something. He produced like David Bowie and shit. I don't really give a fuck because I don't like David Bowie or T Rex, but he produced them. So if you like them, cool. I don't care. But he,
Fair enough.
he produced this song, "The Dragon Cries," and I'm not impressed. It's weird. Like maybe I'll warm up to it, but it's different from anything Bandmaid's done. It sounds like shit though. Like it's way too loud, which is the problem with a lot of modern rock songs is they're recorded way too fucking loud. So like everything is just and Psyche doesn't sound good. Like there was an article I read about how Psyche and Miku spent hours singing on here, and I'm just like, well, they sure didn't show. Maybe they sang for hours and they used the final take because I don't know. I'm not too impressed with how Psyche's vocals are on this track, and it's just kind of weird. And I don't know. I might get used to it, but I'm feeling Bandmaid's new album is like. So when Reincarnation came out, I was like, this album's gonna be fucking album of the year. And when now this song, I'm like, oh, I don't know. So it's just this cycle of. So
It's
we'll
gonna
see
be hit
how
and
it
miss.
is. I mean, either way, Bandmaid reached their absolute peak with world domination. You don't make an album like that and make something better. It just doesn't happen. So they've already reached their pinnacle as a band, but we'll just see what they give us now. Well, it's true. Like you think about it, every band has their pinnacle album.
They do,
AC/DC never made an album better than Highway to Hell.
but they
Kiss
wouldn't
never
have
made an
thought
album.
that at the point that they wouldn't have made Highway to Hell and gone, we'll never ever make a better album than this. That's like manga creators or anything.
That's true because it's just kind of like then you just give up if you admit that
Yeah,
because
exactly.
then they still make good albums like Back in Black and Fly on the Wall and Flick of the Switch
Kishimoto
afterwards.
is made Naruto, and they're making some new thing, and I can't remember the name of it. It's coming out next year. They ain't gonna go. I mean, Naruto has went on for however many fucking years, 15 years. They're
Yeah.
making something new. They ain't gonna go. It's not gonna be as good as Naruto. Like they can't say
No.
that to themselves, can they?
See, that's actually true. When you put it that way, it made me realize how actually dumb that is to say.
It's true. They will
Because
never make
it's
like it's not going to be as
like,
popular or
yeah,
successful as Naruto. Fuck
and
them.
you think a lot of these Japanese groups have a very short lifespan. So a group like Bandmaid, like I mean, they've gotten better. Like I mean, groups like Scandal have proven to have lived on very well. Like Scandal reached, I think, their best point like basically 10 years into their career with their last album, Honey. You know,
Hmm.
so but
Yeah.
a group like Bandmaid is well. I mean, their visual thing is more of a gimmick, but the actual music is just fucking good. But obviously, idol groups don't last too long, and like Bish, for instance, I don't know how much left they got in them. You know,
Get
I mean,
fucked,
it's
so
hard to
Bish.
say. I have to wonder what like the average best album, quote unquote, of most bands are. You
yeah,
know what I
like
mean?
which one is it? Like
Oh, like
first
the
album,
in
second
sequence.
album?
Yeah, like generally, it's not going to be the first album. It's going
Second,
to be the
No,
best album.
second
unless
or
it's like
third.
there's like very few bands like obviously Guns N' Roses, like Appetite for Destruction, and Boston's first album,
Yeah,
and
and like let's throw out all the bands who got one good album out and that was it. Like
well,
they
yeah,
never
because
had a second one.
those two bands
Those,
only had one good album, so yeah,
well, I mean, like, but bands that only have one album, period,
like
should not count. Because
like the Sex
they'll
Pistols, yeah,
you need to have at least multiple albums.
Yeah, and usually, yeah, first album is usually developing the sound, or in some cases, like I like Metallica's first album, Kill 'Em All, the most, but that doesn't mean Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets aren't fucking amazing. They develop their
Right.
sound more on those albums, but Kill 'Em All is a different tone because it's a fucking aggressive and absolutely lightning in a bottle kind of album,
I
where it
guess you'd
has
have
young
to.
energy.
I'd have to guess you'd have to break it down by into groups of bands that had 2 albums, band that had 3 albums, band that had 4 albums,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth.
I think it's true that most artists don't really make amazing late career albums because a lot of bands stagnate by the time they get to that point. More so with these kind of like heritage rock bands that I've been mentioning and stuff like that. Like that's what all these bands are, like Kiss and AC/DC and Iron Maiden and all these groups are like heritage rock acts. Even if they make new albums, they're still just going off their old
Their
shit.
fame.
Yeah, and like other artists like well, David Bowie's Black Star is an example. I didn't really care about that album, but it was like a late career album that did different things and made people go, "Oh, holy shit." Sometimes bands get that late career one that's like, "Oh my," but it doesn't happen very often.
No, not really. Although I will
Because
say it's not a band, but Eminem's latest album Kamikaze was fucking gold.
well,
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
yeah, I didn't like it.
But
okay.
I'm going to have to say, I think it really, with Bowie at least, if you're reinventing yourself as an artist continually through the process, then you can still keep having good albums throughout the years.
Because like someone like Bowie at least kept changing his sound and stuff and evolving. Like he didn't just stagnate into like one set thing.
Right. And like, in my world, I listen, like a lot of pop punk. So Fall Out Boy has continued to change their sound throughout the years. Panic at the Disco obviously lost all their members, but the sound changed. Even when it was just Brendan Urie doing the thing.
Yeah.
Be interested to see what hell MCR comes out with since they're apparently getting back together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
But
Black Parade and Danger Days are some of the best albums of all time, in my opinion. But
we
pop
shall
punk.
see.
But no, it's true. I realize I do have a bad habit of with some of these bands, like even artists like Psycho Amori and Batman and shit, where I'm just like, yeah, they already peaked. I don't know. Yeah, this just ain't whatever. Like
Fuck
you have
these.
that bad habit for your entire existence. Like everything
yeah, everything I've ever done, I'm basically
rolls around that.
right now. I'm basically like my music is done. I've already made the best shit I'll ever make in my life. It's all over.
Yeah.
but but then I start making songs again, and I'm like, these are the best songs I've ever made. But then I listen to like Magnus Bridge, and I'm like, nah, I ain't never topping that. I'm done. I'm never gonna reach this point again. So it's just a really bad thing of mine that I'd like to change.
Yeah, you do it for the show. You do it for the podcast. You're like, it's not
Oh,
fall
for the
2016.
podcast.
It's not
Well,
summer
the thing is,
2016.
until like I don't know, like 5 episodes ago, I was like so down about this podcast. Like I basically just didn't even want to do it because I was like, it just ain't good anymore. It's not like late 2016, it's not like that anymore. But then I was just like, how about just like fucking do the show and have fun? Because who gives a fuck?
Yeah, and it's turned out these last 5 have been better. I
They've
think
been great.
since we tweaked the
Yeah.
format a little bit, because
Well,
we make no secret about it. We go through highs and lows. I think 2019 overall has been an interesting year because of all the gaps that we've had, and enthusiasm levels have
gaps.
been low.
But
So
yeah, you kind of have to realize that just stop like worrying about a golden age or whatever. If this is a set, how about all we have is right now? So just make like a fucking good show, like, and who cares if it's not like 2016? Like even anime, I'm basically like anime is done. There'll never be a year like fall 2016 with Kaijo and Hibike Euphonium 2 and Flip Flappers and all these shows, and I don't even watch anime anymore. I'm just like, oh yeah, season anime, yeah, it's done because it won't be as good as it was at this time. But I don't even give it a try, so I wouldn't even know.
you wouldn't even know. No, that's true.
Yeah,
Like there's some good shit coming out.
kind of how it is, right? If you get stuck on the past was so much better, we can't ever be that good again. It's just depressing. You got to have
Yeah.
optimism, right?
Oh,
That's how it goes.
that's exactly what it is. Yeah. So I'm just realizing how that's not a great mindset. And there it popped up again with Bandmaid's new album. Like I said, I've already ordered the whatever the fuck edition of it, and because it's Bandmaid, I love Bandmaid, you know. But this new song, The Dragon Cries, I'm not overly impressed, but it might be a grower. I'm just hoping this album is good.
Fair enough.
Because it's been wildly
don't believe
consistent. Like, Endless Story was a boring song, but then Reincarnation was cool as fuck. Bubble was kind of but Glory was really good. So it's like, what the fuck's going on here? But we'll see.
We'll see. Speaking of anime and it not being so good, I have a tip, and it's a tip aimed directly at you, Corin.
Oh God.
So here we go. Tip for us is that Megalobox is getting a sequel. Megalobox 2 is in development. It was announced at Anime NYC. So there you go, my friend. You can look forward to that.
That's neat. I don't know what the fuck it's gonna be about, but cool.
It's gonna be about Box and Megalo.
I mean, I guess that's the thing, though, right? Is that the first one was all about there's this, boxing with robot arms, but there's one dude who doesn't have robot arms, and he's the best boxer of them all. But he won. He became the champion. Like, that was it.
It's about him defending the crown now. That's got to be what it is. Or it could be someone else.
Him defending the crown, or I would worry if they do like a prequel. That would be dumb.
I don't know.
But I don't know. Megalobox was a very well done show. Are they doing it? Is the same person? Oh, the same people doing it?
That's what it said, I think. Let's have a look. Okay. Let's find it.
I can't remember off the top of my head who did it originally.
Oh, okay. So, 13 anime episode. Blah 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 blah. The anime celebrates 50th anniversary. Yu Moriyama. Concept designer for Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress and Attack on Titan, directed the series, and he's also in charge of the conceptual design. So is he doing it? Oh no, it just literally is listing who was doing things, but I imagine they're on it as well.
You would hope. They've shipped off great franchises to other studios before, and it hasn't turned out so well.
One Punch
Man 2. Yeah.
Can't wait for One Punch Man 3. Speaking of shipping things off, I know I'm hogging all the tips today. This could be a tip. This could be a dip. I want you guys to decide. But this is a rumor, according to We Got This Covered, which take them as a source with a grain of salt, a huge grain of salt. However, they've said that a source who was previously and later proven right, confirmed Mouse House was developing an Aladdin sequel, has said that Disney is producing a live-action adaptation of the TV anime Dragonball with an all-Asian cast. So reportedly the film has a very big budget, although it remains unclear if the film will focus on Dragon Ball or its sequel, Dragon Ball Z. So
they didn't learn from their first attempt.
Dragon Ball Evolution? So it's going to be Dragon Ball Evolution 2.
You'd hope.
Trying,
okay.
Or
you can't make a movie worse than Dragon Ball Evolution as far as making new Dragon Ball films.
But the problem is that you can't make a movie as fun and stupid to watch as that. Like, imagine if you made it and it was just like boring.
But also at the same time, they've had a lot of experience at this point making like the Hulk and stuff. I feel like if there was a moment in history that you could pull off, let's just say pull off a Dragon Ball movie that didn't look like complete ass.
Oh, with Disney funds? Like, this is the thing. I'm like, Disney? Like Dragon Ball Z? Disney? What would Disney's Dragon Ball Z look like?
Like, any way you look at it, it'd be a shit movie because like it just doesn't translate.
That is the problem with a whole bunch of shonens. Like, it's hard to translate it.
It just doesn't work because what are you gonna have? It
depends on what they adapt, right?
Yeah, I guess
it depends how they adapt it. If they go into it making the classic assumption that the first that Dragon Ball Evolution made that nobody knows what the fuck Dragon Ball is, then it's going to be a train wreck. But if they go into it going, everyone fucking knows what Dragon Ball Z is, and just get into it, it could go fine.
Yeah,
Because
I think
honestly, I
they
can
need
see
to do
you
that.
doing, very easily could do a movie that's just the beginning of Dragon Ball Z through the Saiyan saga, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
fight
yeah.
You can fight Raditz, halfway through, not halfway, like, the first 20 minutes of the movie. You can have a big old snake way thing. And then you can have, like, the last third of the movie just be a giant fight.
Oh,
between
I'm
you.
picturing like the sort of Marvel style humor.
Oh, fuck. Oh, I'm barfing. I already died. Oh, Jesus, I'm dead.
Oh, relax.
Piccolo being like a wise. Hey, I could see Piccolo being like a wisecracking sort of,
It's not like the original material didn't have wisecracks in it. They just didn't usually get translated very well.
Can we, like, end Marvel humor in anything besides those movies? Like, please? Does everything have to be, like, funny? Like stop.
Gotta make
Well,
it like
here's
Marvel.
the thing. Here's the thing. Marvel humor is just Joss Whedon humor. Joss Whedon, and that's because Joss Whedon did Avengers. Everyone liked Avengers, and then Marvel was like, all the movies have to be like this.
Yeah, it's like, how about just, like, stop doing this with, like, every property like this, please?
That is the problem. Well, it was interesting with Justice League, wasn't it? Because Joss Whedon went and did like a load of reshoots with that, and then you had the whole like the Flash being, a wisecracking kid, but most of it, I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of Justice League. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, who was?
I'm sure there was some. I don't think it bombed, or did it? I don't know. I don't know the numbers.
I think it did okay.
It wasn't
Superman.
I was gonna.
Well, I don't know if it bombed. I don't think any of them bombed.
Okay, financially they didn't bomb, but commercially, Batman vs Superman was widely panned. I think mostly what people said about Justice League was it wasn't Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, and that already says a lot.
It wasn't Batman versus Superman, but now Joker's come, and that's changed the game for DC.
Has it? I don't know. I haven't seen the fucking movie.
I mean, it was a good movie.
Well, this is the thing, because people follow trends, don't they?
They do, and basically, it sounds like somebody made an artful superhero movie, superhero in quotes.
So they're gonna keep doing that shit then.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with artful comic
book
movies.
But mind you, has anyone caught the Watchmen series? Like the latest Watchmen series? Because apparently that's bad.
I have not.
Yeah,
it's like, so they've got the Watchmen comics, and they've gone, okay, I like what I see here. Let's set it 30 years after the comics, and not really use any characters from the comics. This is going to be better. I'm just like, why? Why are you doing that?
HBO is just trying to figure out what its next Game of Thrones is going to be. You're going to have a couple weird years, and then they're going to get something.
Why?
That's how it goes. Between Sopranos and Game of Thrones, what was on?
I don't know HBO well enough.
Yeah,
what?
exactly.
I don't say AMC.
But you know what Sopranos and Game of Thrones were.
Good as shit.
Exactly.
Well,
but nobody knows what the fuck else happened in that middle ground.
I love the
Watchmen's going to be forgotten, and then there's going to be a new gigantic thing that everybody watches. That's how it goes.
I don't watch the Batwoman, but I do watch I do watch a bunch of YouTubers watch Batwoman, and they just have their live reactions, and that's good enough for me. It's pretty fantastic from the sounds of it. Oh no!
Yeah.
I'm moving tinfoil. Can you hear that?
Oh, I thought that was like the sound of eating chips.
That's what I thought.
Oh no! I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody.
You're eating tinfoil, you absolute monster.
Hey, we're British. That's what we do.
Fair game.
I've got a mountain of chocolate to get through. It's birthday season. I need to get rid of it before December. So, then you can have the Crimbo chocolate.
Gotta have the Crimbo chocolate.
Got to do that Crimbo chocolate.
But yeah, I don't know. A live action Disney Dragon Ball would
I don't think it's going to happen.
not be good.
Absolutely not. Disney. That's not a property that Disney would touch.
It doesn't matter. Like, who does it? It would suck. It would just not, because it just wouldn't work in live action. Period.
It could be cool.
It doesn't matter if fucking Toy Animation did it. It would
With the
still
right.
suck.
Okay, if you had a huge budget to do fucking anything, you could do it. The problem is
But
that
it
you would
just
have
it's way too anime though. It just
you would
doesn't
have
translate.
to change a lot. Yeah, absolutely, you would have to change a lot because you can't have in real life. You can't have the reactions and the script and the screaming. You can't have the screaming in real life.
Yeah.
It just will not work.
You can have the screaming, you just shoot it
It'd be
differently.
so cringy. Oh
It's
my
not
God.
like the voice actors didn't just scream for all that time. I mean, they didn't do it, all at once, but still worked.
Like you'd need
Like,
to.
yeah,
Still
oh,
a
yeah.
movie. You don't have to do it in one take.
No, you'd need to have to. Like I say, you'd have to adapt a few things to make it work because it's a different medium. Like it's live action, and what works in anime doesn't work in. Doesn't necessarily translate over to live action. Do you want me to tell
Yeah.
you what the best? I'm not even kidding. The best live action adaptation for shonen, or at least what did like the arc the best, was the fucking Bleach movie that came out last year.
Oh,
That
fuck.
perfectly adapted that first 16, 17 episodes. I'm not even kidding. The movie was okay. It wasn't,
The movie was fine. It was good in some places, made some odd choices in some
yeah.
others.
It was a bit meh.
You gotta
but
drink your milk.
Oh fuck! I forgot about that. But the actual pacing and the story they chose to cover and what they wanted to convey was perfect for a first movie. It's an origin story. It introduces everything that it needs to introduce, and it sets up a nice little cliffhanger for the Soul Society arc if they ever wanted to make a new movie.
I forgot that that existed and B I watched it.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh shit!
because we did the episode on it.
Mm-hmm. We did the big Bleach blowout. I forgot about that.
You guys
Yeah.
made me watch that movie.
Oh, you've made us watch worse. You made me. Actually, never mind. I was going to mention something. I just totally forgot. It didn't happen on screen, so I will shut my mouth. Any more tips and dips from you guys, by the way?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Time for my book review.
Book
And
review.
So naturally, I've been talking about Isaac Asimov's Foundation series. So now we have technically the second book in the series, Foundation and Empire. So this is a book that's basically two parts, and the first part. So basically, again, I've described these books kind of. The Galactic Empire is like falling, and in the first part of this book, it's like the very last like general guy is trying to take over this planet, the Foundation and shit. So it's just that story, and that part was good. It was very good actually. I quite liked it. I thought it was written well, and it was cool. And the second part is there's this mutant guy, because this guy Harry Seldon like calculates all this shit for history and whatnot, but then the mule is like something he could have never predicted would have happened. So he's coming up in there and fucking people up and shit like that. And the book as a whole was fine. I thought it was a good book and I read it, but it brings about many problems in Isaac Asimov's writing in this early on maybe. And that is the characters don't matter. They're not good. They're not actually they suck. They're just not characters at all. They're literally just nothing. And the pacing is garbage in many parts. Like they're like towards the end of the book, they're like these key important scenes that he just describes in like sentences. Or he's like, "Oh yeah, this happened. Okay, but I'll describe this thing for like 10 hours. I'll describe this stupid clown playing on his instrument thing for a billion years." There's plenty of interesting ideas that the series brings up, and as a whole, if you just read like a summary or whatever of the book, it's pretty fucking cool actually. And even the plot twist in Foundation and Empire, some people might find it obvious, but I didn't see it coming. And I was like, okay, that's interesting, man. Okay, you're trying to use in some big brain time. And I keep reading those because I like reading them. And you got to remember that it's 1950s science fiction as well. So for the time, I think it's written. They're written super well. It's just the characters aren't anything.
Science fiction didn't really understand how to write characters for a while.
And it seems like it. Because this series is way more on, it's kind of like universe building and telling the story of the Empire and shit. that, because yeah, again, the characters, you don't really care about them or remember them, and there's so many fucking characters in this book that just they'll bring up a name and you're like, okay, who's that? I already forgot what's going on. And there are parts of this book that could have been like told a little better, but it was all right. And I'm already reading the next book, Second Foundation and shit, so going along in the series.
Keep on chugging.
You know, I like reading these books, and I like reading again, so it's good shit.
I like to read.
It's good shit, except for the complaints that I have, so I don't actually really know.
Look, man, people have been complaining about books since books were invented, so...
Why isn't there no pictures?
I want to say I'm complaining. It's more just like they're...
Critiquing. Look, you can... Yeah. You are, well, I will say anyone has the right to critique anything. You can love something, you know,
and still give it a critique.
Exactly. You can absolutely love something and recognize the flaws in it. In fact, I think that's healthy because there is not a single piece of media, creative writing, a game, anything that exists out there that is flawless and perfect, and everybody objectively looks at it and goes, yes, there is nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, we've had several episodes where we talked about Star Wars and still loving Star Wars, but obviously deeply flawed.
Yeah.
You better not talk bad about this one thing that I think is perfect, and I just happen to ignore all the flaws of it because it's perfect, and I decided it's perfect.
That's fine, though. Like I can, like I'm all about that. Like, say, when people ask me, you know, what's your favorite anime or whatever, I'm gonna go to something like, I mean, people would laugh. You know, these serious connoisseurs, you know, they'd laugh. I would probably go to Bleach or Code Geass as my favorite anime. And people are like, fucking Code Geass? Code Geass? Yeah, like, and I'm like, yeah, I fucking love that shit.
If somebody said to me their favorite anime is Bleach, I would just kind of be like... Oh.
You'd dismiss them, wouldn't you? Well, you would dismiss them.
No, here's the thing. I would dismiss someone saying Naruto a lot faster than someone saying Bleach. Like, if someone said Bleach, that's actually, like... I would literally dismiss someone quicker for saying Dragon Ball Z, a series that I like enough to be at least my top 15. I would dismiss that faster than Bleach, because at least Bleach shows that you've watched a few shows. You know?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like an elitist thing, maybe. Where if you say like Dragon Ball Z or Naruto, that's like expected. And I'm just like, okay, whatever the fuck, okay, cool. But if you say Bleach, I'm at least like, oh, this is actually elitist as fuck, and this is probably like, this is a dumb fucking rant.
You motherfucker elite. You're a closet elitist. It's okay.
I know. The thing is, I can't help it because it comes out. Like if someone said, "Oh, I love Attack on Titan," I would just be like, pfft. Even though I know myself, when I watched season 1, I enjoyed it, and there are many parts that are like, "Oh, this is funny. This is pretty good."
Oh, you
I enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't you like it? No, I loved it.
The problem is, I enjoyed the
very little elitist hidden elitist anime whore.
The thing is, I hated in Attack on Titan. Like I've said this many times, the series for me took a shit when it killed that Eren and then brought him back, and then I was like, okay, this is fucking stupid. It just did the most ballsy thing a show's ever done, and then it just does this shit. Like that's dumb as fuck. But yeah, I enjoyed it. But even if I enjoyed it, I would never put it in like any kind of list. Even if I could watch it and think it was the best show ever, but I'd never say that because it's Attack on Titan.
Oh, don't worry. The season 4 is coming. I think it's gonna leave a lot of people's lists.
I just wanna point out how stupid what I'm saying is right now, but I can't help it because it's how I actually feel.
That's the thing. That's fine. That is fine. You are entitled.
That said, Gurren Lagann and K-On! Are actually the best things I've ever seen in my life, and I hold true to that.
This is the thing I'll always say. Like you're fully entitled to your opinion that you're in because you recognize that it's not infallible. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
You recognize that there might be, you know, some not better opinion. What am I trying to say? I've had a lot of beer.
Yeah.
But you recognize that there's some sort of it's not bulletproof. And you realize that there might be some logical flaws in there, which is fine. That's all I asked for.
I mean, when it's me, there's gonna be logical flaws like fucking Swiss cheese up in here, you know?
Like, I try and review things. I mean, on here, we're a bit different than when we used to write reviews, because obviously here, we watch a show like 5 days before, and I don't take any notes, and then we just go off the cuff
And
talking
and you
about
just
it.
kind of like forget. You're just like,
It'll never be the most in-depth review and the most concise, but I try and think of
no.
interesting points that I remember or what sticks with me
Yeah.
at the
And
time.
actually, the elitism thing is weird because it's like, where does it come from? Do you want to be someone who people are like, oh, you've actually seen stuff that's cool? Because it's like, it's just something weird about that. Where if you talk to someone and they're like, oh, I love Dragon Ball Z, you're just like surface level.
Surface level motherfucker.
But it's like, why can't people just enjoy shit and whatever, you know? But it's still, there's just that little ping I feel in my soul if I ask someone, oh, what are your favorite shows? And it's like, oh yeah, Attack on Titan and Dragon Ball
Maybe it's
Z
the
and
genre
shit.
that they're like. Because if someone like goes along the slice of life and they go, yeah, I love Lucky Star, K-On,
Yeah, but the thing is,
Harry,
Lucky.
I'd be like,
The
you
thing is,
fucking
Lucky
surface
Star.
level.
The thing is, Lucky Star and K-On are shows that people who watch anime would only like, unless somebody showed it to them, because they're not shows that would ever reach like this. Well, I mean, they were popular, but they wouldn't be popular to the same
Mainstream.
level of
Yeah.
Attack on Titan and Dragon. You wouldn't go to Hot Topic and see Lucky Star shirts or K-On shirts, you know?
True.
Because the appeal of these shows isn't as broad as the other ones. Like it's a more specific group. And K-On, like anyone who I've showed K-On to has really liked it because there's a very specific appeal to K-On.
So you just don't like normies. That's what it is.
No, I would never. I hate that term as well.
Me too.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like a show like Lucky Star has a lot of depth to it because most of the jokes rely on you having seen 25 other anime already.
Yeah, that's why like when I watched it when in like 2013, I didn't know as much. I didn't really know what was going on in the series. So I would enjoy Lucky Star if I watched it now more than I did when I watched it initially.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, it's been so long since I've seen Lucky Star.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's just that feeling in me. I don't know. It's dumb. It's stupid. And how can I say this? How can I say this when someone's like, "What's your favorite movie?" and I would say, "Oh, A New Hope." You know, surface level.
My favorite movie is Return of the King. I always feel funny like saying it, like as if it's like
that's a pretty popular favorite movie if you're gonna pick one.
It's my favorite movie.
I've never seen the whole thing, but I hear it's good.
I mean, okay, there's definitely like Lord of the Rings types. You know, like you got to be a Lord of the Ring type.
I never really cared for Lord of the Rings. I remember reading The Hobbit as a kid. Thought it was good, but I never got into reading the books. And the movies were, I don't know. I just couldn't get into them. And then I was also at the kind of point in my life where I really hated fantasy.
I hated fantasy as a genre. I'm still at that point.
I read a really bad fantasy novel. Probably something I would love these days, but at the time it was just the worst shit I ever picked up.
The thing is for me in high fantasy, it just seems like the same shit, like elves and castles and knights and like goblins and shit. Like to me, I'm just like this boring as fuck.
That's because most everyone just rips off Tolkien. But either way, I've just never seen Return of the King all the way through. I've seen like the middle part. I've seen the end. I don't think I've ever seen the beginning.
I mean, there've been. I mean, let's keep in mind that I didn't watch The Godfather until May, and now that's like top 5 movies I've ever seen in my life, and it's just fucking amazing, absolute masterpiece.
Godfather 1's incredible.
Oh yeah, so it's like I won't dismiss the fact that I might actually like Lord of the Rings if I watch it at the right time. Like I watched Godfather at the right time.
Wait,
so
you've not watched Lord of the Rings either?
Never watched a single second.
Jesus
Christ. Aside from clips, but never actually. Same with like Harry Potter and shit like that. Like I never actually watched them.
Okay, Harry Potter's meh, but Lord of the Rings are actually well written. Really good movies.
They probably are. It's just there hasn't yet been a time where I felt like watching them, but there might be. Like how I watched Citizen Kane and I was like, oh, the movie's fucking good. But I watched it because I felt in my mind, I was like, I want to watch this movie. So
Yeah.
if I ever get to that, I might get to that point one day where I'm like, I want to watch this, and then it would be good because I'll be in like the right mood for it, you know?
I think you wouldn't regret it if you went and watched it. So
Yeah, like that's why.
They're certainly fine. I would definitely take them one at a time.
Yeah, they're a little too long to do a marathon.
nah,
All right.
12-hour marathon, extended editions.
Even
Go for it.
oh god, I knew some people did that back in college. It was ridiculous.
I could probably do that. I could stomach it. I've seen them movies more times than I can count, but you know. Can't wait for them to remake them in 10 years.
It's gonna happen, but actually, you never know. Maybe they won't. They never remade Star Wars.
Yeah, it's still.
Oh no! Can't wait for the Disney sequel of Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Oh no!
Yeah, it would just be a sequel.
Here's Aragorn's daughter.
I don't know. Surely you could make a bunch of stuff out of the Silmarillion. They made like 3 whole Hobbit movies out of it.
Oh, there's a lot of lore to go through that wasn't exactly covered in the movie,
Yeah.
so they've got a shit ton to go back into. Like there is loads there. Glorfindel, the First Age War with the Numenor, men of Numenor, and all that kind of shit. So there is a lot of lore that you could use.
I assume Disney owns the rights these days, but
It's safe bet.
I don't actually know if that's true. You assume they would, but I don't know who owns the rights.
A shot in the dark. It's probably Disney. Like, if you had to guess, it's Disney.
Actually, it might still be owned. It might have the Tolkien estate might still be a player in this.
I feel like his children have some say in things. Like I'm always positive. I don't know if maybe they've sold it off subsequently, but I know at the time of them recording them, they had some kind of ruling in it, shall we say?
Well, I wonder. Let's see, because I don't know how long. I don't think public domain's expired on any of it yet, or it hasn't hit public domain yet.
No, I don't think so.
Let's see. So according to what I'm reading here on Quora, The Hobbit will enter public domain in 2032.
Oh, I can't wait. Rip that shit off. I am fucking taking that.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about public domain. Unless you pull a Batman or a DC / Marvel and just keep extending it for their own gain. Yeah, imagine how many great Batman movies we would get if you didn't have to get DC sign off every single goddamn time, and you could just make Batman movies.
It'd be pretty damn sick.
It would be the case, except they kept fucking with public domain law.
Can you do that now with Marvel, like with Spider-Man?
No.
Or is it because
they
Disney
keep
owns
fucking with they keep fucking with public domain law.
Arseholes.
Yeah.
Shouldn't say that about Marvel because they'll probably come and do us over. But
yeah, but this is why all the public domain stuff you see is always from like 1890, because everything past that, people realized we could just pay people off.
Get fucked, Mary Shelley. I'm taking Frankenstein up in this bitch.
Okay, here's a great question, Simon.
Mm-hmm.
Would you sell the rights to this podcast and all the assets?
Absolutely. If anyone was willing to buy them, yes.
What do you think the estimated retail value would be?
99 cents.
Yes, if that.
Yeah, I don't think we have any brand, because we could literally rebrand this podcast and we would lose nothing.
Well, I've proven you have no integrity.
Would you? Would you sell it?
Oh yeah.
And there you go.
Well, not unless it. What if it was like? Then we couldn't do anything, or we'd get like sued for being like too similar. to ourselves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it depends on the contract you sign.
Like we could start.
Because you said the
like,
rights to it. If they said we
oh.
couldn't do a show together at all, because we could
Yeah, like-
change the format and we just do like, I don't know,
Okay.
review.
Oh yeah,
something.
no, not that. Like they just totally own everything, so they could be like, oh, you guys are too similar to Manimal, Vacant, and Corin on our podcast.
Yeah, I think what you'd have to do is you sell like the rights to produce, but you keep creative control. It's like, people sell the book rights to their story or the movie rights to their book. And they still have creative control. They still have a say in things.
Would you sell your entire personality being an essence for $1 billion?
Abso-fucking-lutely. For $1 billion? $1 billion?
Depends how... Now, the problem is, I ain't worth that much. Second of all, whoever's going to give me $1 million for my personality has more than $1 billion to spare, which means when they try to literally sue me out of existence, I will lose. $1 billion or no.
Yeah,
I will
enough.
take my paycheck of $1 billion, buy a fucking city in the Philippines, and fucking live like a king for the rest of my life. I will move away.
You don't
want
to go to the Philippines right now. They have a dictator.
No.
I'll be all right. I've got money. I can. There's enough children with knives running around that I could pay off to protect me. Be all
It's not the children with knives. You got to worry about the hit squads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you saying that my child? Are you saying my child hit squad wouldn't be as good as the adult
Can't worry
ones?
about the hit squad if you buy them
They
all.
won't have Uzis and motorcycles.
I will buy motorcycles and Uzis for my children.
I just don't think it's a good idea, man. Do you know that episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation where they go to a planet where every single crime results in death penalty?
No.
Okay, there's an episode of Star Trek where that happens, and that's what the Philippines is right now.
R.I.P. Philippines. I love the I've got a lot of love for the Philippines. Obviously,
it's a beautiful country. Got a terrible guy in charge.
My other half's Philippines. It's Filipino is the correct term. I kind of forgot. We say Philippines as a joke, and now I've realised that makes me sound really bad. But it's okay. She says it. It's funny. I promise she's okay with it. Yeah. So there you go. Maybe not the Philippines. I don't know. I'll go somewhere. What about Cuba? Cuba seems quite a liberal country.
More than they used to be. Well, actually, depending how you define liberal.
Colombia. That just sounds nice to say. Oh, I'm in Colombia. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. You could make a nice life for yourself in Havana these days. They're open enough.
Anyway, I'm going to stop that noise, what I've just been making. Because that is terrible. Do you guys have any more tips and dips that you want to share with us before we roll into the anime?
I'll talk about Modern Warfare again.
Boom, go for it.
So I've been naturally playing the shit out of the game because that's what I do, I guess. And oh god, I was just about to what, but then I stopped myself. My coherency is going down, but because I'm tired, I want to go to bed. But I would say that the game is enjoyable. It's Call of Duty, so there's always going to be annoyances and grievances of the game.
Mm-hmm.
They nerfed the fuck out of the super overpowered shotgun, the 725, and overall the gameplay, like I definitely think I like the gameplay of Black Ops 4 more than this game for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little too fast, but the thing is, it's so satisfying when you go on a tear, and like I've already gotten like 4 chopper gunners in this game. It's like once you start ripping shit up, you're just like, fuck yeah. Like, I never got kill streaks that high in, like, Black Ops or anything like that originally. Not very often, So, like, when you start, like, ripping shit, you're just like, yeah.
Oh, as soon as you get a few decent kill streaks, you were fucking annihilating everybody.
And, like, this is, like, every Call of Duty game. You keep dying, this game sucks, it's unfair, it's terrible, it's this and that. But then, like, you just rip shit, and you're just like, this game's fucking amazing. So it's like, that's just the natural cycle of all these kind of games.
Yeah,
But
it's good when you're good.
yeah. But no, I'd say it's fine. It's enjoyable. It'll do the trick, and at least there's no funky shit going on. Like Black Ops 4 even had some funky shit that I didn't really like in the game, like all the special abilities and like the fucking riot shield that shot, like had a gun attached to it
Yeah.
and all that kind of shit. So at least this game it cools it with all the funky shit, and it's just standard. So
Just
that's
make
my
it
kind
fair.
of little comment. It's probably the last thing I need to say about the game because I'm just gonna keep. I'm playing it right now, obviously.
Obviously.
But yeah, I'm tired.
That's fair enough. Do you have any tips or dips to throw in, Corin?
No, I just work too much.
Fair enough. Okay, let's run on then. You can take a rest now, Manimal. You
Okay,
put your
I'm
feet
I'm
up.
actually gonna
You're gonna
exit
bounce.
from the
Okay.
episode. So until next time, everyone, remember one thing and one thing only. I
What's
made the rhyme just in time.
It's a callback from an hour and 15 minutes ago. Oh, he did it. He did it, ladies and gentlemen. He did it. Okay, bye, Manimal. Thank you for joining us as always. It's an absolute pleasure. So with the departure of Manimal, that can only mean one thing. It is time to discuss the anime season. So, Corin, I have watched Fire Force, Doctor Stone, and No Guns Lie, and are up to date with all three.
Cool.
Is there anything that I have not covered in that list that you want to talk about?
Beastars.
Go for it.
So, Beastars, continues to be deeper than you ever could have possibly imagined a show about high schoolers that happen to be animals are. Right? Like, so in this episode, our main character, Lugosi, the wolf who is scared of being a wolf, basically, is sent into the city with some of his pals to do a thing because they're for the losing my brain. I'm also tired. The theater club does a thing for like the city's like big festival. So in this universe, they revere dinosaurs as actual gods
Okay.
because
Interesting.
dinosaurs are the progenitors of all life, obviously,
Oh.
and there's no humans. So dinosaurs are revered as gods. So there's a big festival where they make giant dinosaurs, and yeah, basically the theater club does something for the city. So because they have this terrible, it, basically the episode starts with a news story about how a woman was eaten to death by like 15 people on the street.
Ugh.
But it was, I think it was like murder by devouring or something was like the term they used for it.
That's pretty graphic.
But basically, they only send the carnivore students into the city because it's not safe for the herbivores. So they only get told one thing is don't go to the fucking dark market, which is not the black market, it's the dark market because well, actually it's kind of a clever reason for it. It's called the dark market because it is a black market, but everyone knows about it and it's just like one of those things where everyone knows it's there, but nobody talks about it because it makes society work not to.
Yeah.
So basically, they accidentally wander into the dark market because they're lost and they're trying to find like this train station, but they meet an old guy who's selling his fingers.
He's selling his own fingers?
He's selling his fingers. He has price tags on each finger, and if you buy his finger, you get to bite it off and eat it.
Okay.
But basically, basically what you imagine like a market would be like hidden in a warehouse. and it's meat everywhere, and you never see meat in the series, so it's a bit unnerving. But Lugosi's like, man, I can't fucking eat a dude's fingers because a couple of the other kids want to be like, I'm gonna eat this fucking old dude's fingers.
Hey yo, this man wants to sell his fingers, dog.
Because they're all carnivores. But he runs into the market is blindly running through the whole thing, and his vision is getting covered up because he smells everything so much, basically. But he gets to the other side and is this crazy act of defiance, and passes out against the wall, and then this giant fucking hulking figure appears with a stick, and he's like, I'm glad you passed out against the wall. It makes it much easier. And you think he's either A, going to be raped, or B, cut up into meat because it's a meat market.
I was thinking rape. I was going with the former.
But basically, he wakes up chained to a post, and there's this. Okay, imagine a panda. All right.
Imagine
imagine it's fucking ripped.
Beefy
and it dresses like a Japanese tough guy.
Yakuza.
From like a Yakuza. He dresses like a Yakuza enforcer. Fucking ripped panda. His face is all scarred up.
Okay.
And he's doing the little he's got the remote clicker for a camera, and he's taking pictures, and he's like, what the fuck? What was the last time you ate somebody? I never ate anybody. Tell me the last time you ate somebody. But he's all, who are you? And he's talking about being the enforcer for the dark market. But after he takes all these pictures, he posts one up on the wall, and he basically reveals this huge curtain, and there's nothing but photos of people chained to this post, which is bamboo, because of course it is. And he puts Lugosi's photo up there, and he's like, I'm actually not the enforcer, I'm actually the psychotherapist. Because, as he explains, if a carnivore eats meat and then tries not to eat meat a lot, or doesn't have access to meat, they will go crazy and start auto cannibalizing.
Okay.
So it's a lot of pictures of
crazed animals.
Crazed animals with missing arms and stuff. But ultimately sits him down, unchains him and sits him down, gives him tea and stuff, and just talks to him about it for a while. I was a doctor, and then I realized, oh, this place needed a fucking doctor, so now I'm here. I do nothing but treat people and train.
Because I'm ripped. Ripped panda has a conscience. That's what I want to see in my pandas.
Yeah, he's got a conscience, because pandas can eat nothing but bamboo. So he survives on nothing but bamboo. He trains, and he, practices psychotherapy. But at the end of it, basically, he gets to the point of Lugosi is all, I'm in love with a fucking rabbit, and I'm a gray wolf. It's kind of weird. So the panda hands him a rabbit porn magazine.
Right.
And is all, look, take this. I don't want it back. If it gets you off, you just got a weird fetish, and that's fine. If it doesn't, you need to come back, because you're going to eat her. You're going to eat her one day. And it's just weird. It's show.
A bizarre show. Yeah.
It's so good, though. Everything's played completely straight. That's the thing about it. It seems like a comical setup, but it's just played straight, and it makes
serious,
it work.
It's different.
It's believable. You have this weird... I never saw Zootopia or anything, but, you got animals that eat meat and animals that don't eat meat and don't want to get eaten. And apparently fetish bunny magazines.
Well, yeah.
Can you imagine the porn industry in this universe? Where every other person's a different species.
Hey, you want to see these rhino balls? Get yourself down. Think of the puns.
Rhino porn's a thing. Oh my god.
Rhino porn is definitely a thing.
I don't even know.
There's no way it isn't.
But yeah. Good show.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's certainly Different to anything I would have possibly expected. I'm not gonna lie. It's very, very, very different to what I imagined it would be. Okay then. Let's talk about Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone.
So where we left off, they had decided, Senku was like, we're going to create a secret weapon that's going to win this war against Tsukasa. It's going to be the smartphone. Well, a mobile phone. We're going to whip his ass with that. So this episode sort of followed them going along with starting to make it. So they made candy floss because they needed to make gold wire. What's his face? Chrome made a...
Chrome.
He made a water wheel.
He did. It was really nice. He's like, thing goes around and around.
He's like, I made this shit.
He sees gears and he's like, I can make a fucking water wheel.
Perpetual motion. Yeah, it was cool. I like that they made that. And old guy got so excited, he threw off all his clothes. Because the more excited about building something he is, the more more clothing disappears from him.
It makes every part of him get bigger.
Oh yeah, every part gets thicker. That's what they said.
Every part. Every part
gets thicker on this man.
Which is great. I really liked it.
Oh, I really liked it.
I like how they're actually like, really, well, yeah, but you know. But like how they're moving forward with like, they're just kind of like, now that they have things, they can like really do like what seems like leaps and bounds, but obviously isn't.
Yeah, because it makes sense in the show itself, which is always good. Like,
I'll say, hydroelectric plane is not what I thought the get would be at the end of this episode.
No, but they got it. They got the electricity, which is gonna be good. It's just chugging along nicely. They, like you say, the series setup is essentially them acquiring tech. It's kind of been the whole thing with the series, but it's good and it's fun and it works in a nice way. Hopefully we get to see Taiju again and Yuzuriya. They've been mentioned. We've seen them.
They were at least mentioned, which is nice. But we are seeing more looks into the other camp, so who knows?
Yeah.
Plus, we are seeing something with gymnast girl, pink hair, doesn't say much. She did eat the candy floss.
Oh yeah, weird gymnast character. Who's like an acrobat or whatever she is.
Yeah. But, you know, it's cool.
If she turns because she got given candy floss, I swear to God.
I assume it will take more than cotton candy to do her in.
I hope so.
But I think, like it was said, it's not to turn her. It's to get other people thinking.
Yeah. Let's hope that it just, you know, it would be funny if it did actually. She's like, do you know what? I'm loyal to you guys now. Fuck this shit.
I also just want to have a scene of Buff Camp going, they made you cotton candy.
These motherfuckers have got cotton candy?
Some of them are, well, okay, at least the 3 dumbest ones are now dead. We know that for sure.
Yes. They died to sulfur or whatever it was.
Yeah, poison gas. I wonder if the author came up with those and then realized, oh, these guys are not going anywhere. And just immediately kill them off, or if they were always meant to die. Who knows?
And just thought, fuck it. And got rid. I'd get rid. They were dumb. Get rid of them little Mad Max rejects. And they didn't have any weapons left as well. So yeah, get rid of all the dumb ones. Although it kind of undermines what Tsukasa's whole thing was, or Tsushima, whatever his name is. Primate guy, king. Because his whole thing was he wanted to bring young, brilliant people back.
Well,
they didn't seem too young.
They didn't. Then again, art style's a little weird in general with those guys.
Yeah.
They also seem to have their brains melted over time. I think that might be part of the problem.
That could be it. It could be it. I suppose
Again,
because
Gen also doesn't seem like a 19-year-old, but here we are.
true. Yeah. I suppose it's anime, so you just never exactly clear, especially with a style like Dr. Stone's as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a beard, then everyone can, in theory, look around the same age, which is fair enough. But still enjoying it. Can't wait to see the resolution, which we probably won't, because I imagine it's 24 or 25 episodes, so it's going to leave us on some kind of cliffhanger, which I'll be sad about. But
I almost have to wonder, if we're going to hit some sort of a montage at some point.
I feel like, because I'm at this point. There's about 4 or 5 episodes left. I'm wondering, where are we going to get them going to the camp and then ending on the showdown of Senku and against Tsushima or whatever. I can't remember his name. It's Tsushima or Tsukasa, and I've called him like both things.
It's Tsukasa, I think. I want to say Tsukasa, but
it is. His name is Shishio Tsukasa.
Yep. But I'm gonna take a guess that we're gonna get about halfway through this cell phone thing, and then there's gonna be a twist.
Okay.
So I don't think it's gonna be Tsukasa like attacking. I think maybe like something else, like a natural disaster, maybe. I don't know. But I think there'll be a twist because it doesn't seem like there's enough time left to get all the way through it, and it'd be a weird place to just stop.
That's what I'm thinking, because I'm like, okay, well, because we went through the whole thing of making the sulfur drugs. So I was like, we're doing that again, basically, but with the phone. So, are you going to just do it? Because have you got enough time? I guess if they devote all 4 episodes to it, they could do it. But then, is that where you're going to leave it? Is that Senku's got a cell phone, and he's like, oh, we've got mobile phones now? Because even if you've got the mobile phones, I get that you can attack, but you haven't really got much of a force. Like, there's not a huge amount of them who fight there. Not compared to Tsukasa, anyway. And especially at that time, he's going to have a fucking army. Like, that's the whole point. He's delaying so he can basically get as many people as possible.
Yeah, but at the same time, they straight up talk about how, if they can have a large army, but they're outmaneuvered. They're outmaneuvered.
Yeah.
Can't do nothing
that was
about
the one
that.
thing. The one thing that annoyed me on that episode was just how they happen to talk about community. Oh, it's a shame that she's so far away and we don't have phones in this era, so we can't get information in real time. Anyone who had information in real time would have a great advantage.
Yeah, I know. That was one thing. Also, at the same time, though, it is the spear guy going, wait a minute, this does kind of suck.
Yeah. I don't like this place no more.
Look, it's going to be a fun vacation for a while, but I think eventually they're going to get tired of it.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of them.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, it's cool. You can do what you want. There's no rules, but you don't like there being no rules after a while. You know?
Yeah.
Not necessarily rules, but your home comforts you're going to miss.
Right. Once winter hits, you might have a few converts.
As soon as someone gets ill, that's it. You're fucked. That pneumonia wiped out the guys who landed from the space station. And they
immediately
just landed. Yeah, exactly. When in theory,
a couple years.
Yeah, and those drugs were available. Like, they hadn't rotted away. They're still, they could have gone to a store and got them in theory. So yeah, fuck knows what they'll do now. That's very interesting. I'd be curious. Because that could be a thing that happens, maybe. Definitely if Senku can cure illnesses and others can't, he's a valuable asset. Like, you'd want to be on that side. Or at least you'd want someone there who can do that. That's for certain. But
yeah, like if someone gets really sick and then suddenly, oh no, we gotta go steal the drugs because we know they have drugs or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they do know they need to have drugs, but if they need to, like, go steal drugs versus and they get there and go, oh, wait, you have light and electric heat and medicine
Say
and
what?
food that's not, like, roasted boar without salt. Yeah, I could get a little used to this.
Yeah, I've just double checked. It's 24 episodes it's listed for.
But
Interesting.
we're quite a ways in there now. What are we on?
We have just watched episode 20, The Age of Energy, and the next one is Spartan Crafts Club. Whatever that's going to be.
I don't know, but sorry, I just clicked on my anime list and I just realized there's already a spring 2020 listing.
We'll be looking at them oh no, not the spring ones, but well, we will for the 2020 preview. But for now,
Yeah, we don't have much farther to go.
Yeah,
it seems.
We've got 4 episodes left with that, which is going to be interesting because, like you say, they're in a weird. They've kind of kicked off a new plot line. I don't expect them to take as many episodes to make the phones as they did with the sulfur drugs, because you're kind of just retreading what they did again. But we'll see. We'll see what they do. I'm curious.
I kind of like the setup though.
Yeah.
I don't mind if they do this every time. Of here's our crazy setup. Here's how we're going to get there. Because that's also what science is.
It's been fun. It's been fun. It's a lot different. It's refreshing than the Monster of the Week scenario that you get from most other shonens. So I like it.
Right, and it's basically it's not a literal roadmap quite, but it's pretty close to a literal roadmap for the show. So that's fun. You can kind of see where it's going.
We want X, and now we want Y. Yeah. Dr. Stone, still good. If you're not watching Dr. Stone, watch it. Watch it. You can watch it, and you can watch the English dub if you want. I haven't checked the English dub, but, just watch it anyway.
Yeah, but you know what else you should watch?
What else should you watch?
You should watch Fire Force.
Hey, yeah, you should. So, episode 17 or 18, I can't remember. Show turns up. Vulcan, his workshop's been trashed. They find the key. Dr. Man, Plague Mask guy does. The captain of Squad 3. Show turns up, whips everyone's ass, and then guy who is a bad guy, but isn't a
Joker.
bad guy. Yeah, Joker, that's it. That's his name. Joker and his cohort, who is the scientist or forensic analyst or something.
He's their like tech guy, but it's kind of falling into place, right? That the episode title was Black, White, and Gray. So black is the Fire Force dudes. White is obviously the cultish, evangelicus people, and then gray is Joker and the lab coat guy. Which basically, I think the way it's breaking down is Joker and lab coat guy are obviously a chaotic force.
Yeah,
but
they're not allied to.
They're not interested in watching the world get destroyed. So, kind of allying for good in this case.
They are.
They're still nutso, and I love Joker. He's got a great design.
Yeah, gotta love the design and stuff. I'm not sure how he got, like, his powers are interesting as well, like the sort of smoke power that he can do. He had a little tangle show. Show is overpowered as fuck. He seems to have some kind of time perception altering powers, or like he can.
Yeah, he gets all these like flowers around him, and then he moves really, really fast. So I'm not sure what his deal is.
Yeah.
I think it probably just has to do with having the special flame thing, because he seems to have it as well. But he just developed. Obviously, he's been developing it all these years. Where,
yeah, he's been trained better.
What's his name? Shinra really hasn't.
Shinra was a dumbass in this one. I mean, he's doing the typical, but like it's his brother. He believes it's his brother. His brother cuts down Arthur immediately. He cuts down him, and then he's still like, "I'll come back for you. It's my brother." And it's like, dude, he's wearing the uniform of the bad guys.
I know he is. but I don't think Shinra doesn't understand that. I think because how would this usually play out in every other shonen?
That's what
Right?
happens in most shows. This is the thing. He's doing the typical shonen thing.
No, it's not. What would happen in most shonen is that the character would go, "You're my brother. You gotta come back to the good guys."
Yeah,
But
which is what happens.
Shinra's just no. He's just, holy shit! It's my brother. You're alive. Fuck, you're hurting me, dude. It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna come back for you. I'm so excited to see you. It's not
That's
the
what happens.
heartbreak.
It's
No,
like
he's not heartbroken. No, he's not heartbroken, which every other shonen hero would be.
okay. He's not heartbroken, but he's still
There's
doing
no heartbroken.
I
It's
will
just
save
genuine
you.
excitement. Well, he's not doing it like that though. He's not going, "I'll save you." It's, "I'm gonna save you, dude," because he's more excited than anything else. Excitement is the overriding emotion. He's just happy that his brother's alive. He doesn't care that he's gone evil. He's just happy he's alive.
He's an idiot. Then he needs to
He
acknowledge
is an
that.
idiot.
He needs to
He's
acknowledge
an
that
idiot.
that he's
I
gone
think
evil.
He has.
Like
But
if
he's
I
not
was
doing it in the typical melancholic, anguished way.
like if I was Arthur, I'd be like, "Yo, dude, your brother sliced my titties clean off. Like let's think about this for a second. He's not a nice guy."
Yeah, but the thing is, as the line went at the end, Arthur's cut was unfortunately not as deep as we hoped it was.
Ah, shit. Good old Arthur.
So
He's my
love
boy.
Arthur. He's great. Also, he did dodge, which was impressive.
Yeah.
It just goes to show he's the strongest character. Just an idiot.
He's just a dumbass.
Just so dumb.
He dumb AF. But
Also, apparently Tamaki's powers are off, so I guess they received enough complaints.
That's what's so confusing about them, because it's just like, so she could wait, so it's a curse that they all are aware of?
I think it might be a literal curse at this point.
Because that's what I always
it's
thought
like it's
it
currently
was.
inactive, which makes me wonder if it is a literal curse.
Because
I want to explore that. That sounds amazing.
Well, that's what I always thought it was. Like, I always thought that was what they were saying with it, basically, as though it was a curse, and she was it was just an unfortunate thing she had. Like, there doesn't have to be a reason for why she's cursed, but there should be like, at least, like I say, they wouldn't go into the curse itself, but at least that's a reason why it's happening, because then you can go, oh, okay, she's cursed, and she's cursed to have this bad luck where she falls into fan service situations. Tongue-in-cheek, it's funny. But, like, if it's not a curse, then it's just like, oh, so she's just clumsy? But then...
I guess I kind of... You know how they've been doing weird bits of, narrative stuff at the beginning of the episode before it starts?
Yeah, like the background.
Sort of like Attack on Titan has done, where it's like, by the way, here's a little bit of lore. I want one of those, except it's just about her getting comedically cursed.
It runs
like
in the
offending
bloodline.
the gods or something.
That'd be cool. Okay, that'd be really cool if they did that. I'd enjoy that immensely.
Speaking of bloodlines, though, I have a theory.
Go on.
My theory is that Joker...
Mm-hmm.
You know how everyone's like, I'm a second generation, I'm a third generation. I think Joker might be a fourth generation, and that's why his powers are so whack. Is he's one step ahead, and that's why he's kind of like overpowering everybody.
I did like that he went toe to toe with Sho. I mean, he came out like he had a chip in his sword, Sho did, and then he had. I don't know if it's just his bandana was cut or if he'd been cut.
I think he just lost a slice of his bandana because it like. Part of it fell away, but there was more bandana underneath of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
what a monster. So they tussled, but luckily he can't. As fast as he can move, he can't outrun a 4x4. So they bailed.
I imagine it takes a lot of effort to basically freeze time.
Move
super fast. Because I assume he's just moving super fast. I think that's probably got to be it.
Yeah. Maybe. I'm kind of hoping it's time manipulation or perception of time manipulation. But then again, I was going to say, I don't know how fire could possibly do that, but they've made fire work in, like...
It just melts your brain.
Yeah,
It just melts your brain enough you think time's not moving.
Oh, the heat.
I mean, maybe it's like similar to what Hibana does, where she just, like, cooks you enough that you just kind of stop.
Yeah, it could be.
Like, really targeted? I don't know.
They basically made
when he
heat
was
work
doing stuff,
however
it was not... Yeah, it wasn't clear what was happening because it was always super zoomed in on show.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're seeing the wider perspective.
It'll be interesting to figure out what his power is anyway. But yeah, I am looking forward to more Fire Force. It is good. They've got Vulcan there. They'll have little you there. Excuse me. And then obviously we'll learn about Joke Steel and stuff. I think that's 24, 25 episodes as well. So be sad to see both of these levers.
Yeah, but that means they'll probably come back at the same time.
Oh, that's not... If they come back in 6 months, so if they come back again in the summer, that'd be pretty sick. I'd be happy with that.
Pretty sick.
That'll be summer season 2020 sorted already. Speaking of stuff I want to see more of, No Guns Life.
Now, quick question.
Go on.
I gotta... Because when I went to watch on Sunday, there was not a new episode up. So, are we on just 5 now, or is there 6 out?
There is a 6 out.
Okay, I did not see 6. I only saw the first episode with the blue-haired woman.
Oh, fair enough. Yes, there is episode 6. I watched it last night. So, you should probably... I watched them both together, 5 and 6, so I might have... I'm not sure where the line is with it. So if you recap us, and then I'll know.
All right. So in episode 6, they're like having a big like hot pot dinner. The landlady gets a crab, and they cook a crab, and
landlady in quotation marks.
Yeah, she's a lady.
I just thought it was a man in drag. Who they just call...
I think you're just going transgender on this one, because everyone just says lady.
They do say lady. That's fair. But
So
then they play the strong macho, like I suppose they're doing the humor of a man in drag. They're doing man in drag humor.
They're doing man in drag humor. I just don't know if it's just in poor taste.
Probably it's Japan.
I'm going with it's Japan. They've done this in poor taste.
A little behind on certain things like that.
Yeah, but anyway, Juzo goes down. He's like, fuck it, I'm getting out of here. I can't handle my emotions right now.
Goes to the barbers. Got a trim.
He goes to the barber. He's getting tuned up by the crazy old man with the super smoking hot daughter. Yeah. That's how it goes.
Man with a Mega Drive on his head.
The older you are and the weirder you look, the greater the chances you have a smoking hot daughter. That's what fiction has taught me.
In the first episode, she was like a bartender or something, or she ran a club.
I think that was a different girl.
Right. Okay.
I think it's a little same face situation.
Because
she's definitely the same one that was in the trailer the whole time.
Yeah, because they mentioned she's like 18 or something, and I was like, she owns a bar. Wait, what? She looks at the head. I don't understand what's going on anymore. But yeah, she's nice and timid. For poor old Juzo.
But yeah, he's getting his head cleaned out, and then I forget what they're called, the ICE or something like that. Wait, no, ICE is that's America. Sorry. Same difference though. They round up the people who are viewed as threats. The extended that are viewed as threats. Overextended. They say overextended. But they also then hint that... But basically, they take Juzo in because it's like, you use your gun, you're overextended, you come in with us. But then it's all like, look, I know, I'm sorry about that, but we just need you to help us out. Because I guess Juzo's on good terms with blue-haired lady, but she's the head of the thing, but also not. It's
really weird, yeah. So it's the EMS. So... She's the director because Cronin calls her he explicitly calls her director. But then
Cronin showing up is the last thing that happens in the episode.
Oh, okay. So, so Juzo...
Cronin is the white-haired dude from the intro with the cool car.
Yeah. retro car. And he has the needles and shit. He kind of reminds me of Uryu for some reason. I don't know why. He just does.
He has that vibe.
The elitist, aloof sort of guy with glasses. He's cool. I like Cronin for what I see. He's cool in the next episode. But it's a ruse, the arrest. It turns out that it was just a cover to get Juzo in with Olivia. She again, like you say, she's the director. And she wants a favor from him. So he's an overextended. So he is illegal. Like him having those extensions is illegal.
Right.
However,
he has a special pass.
Yeah. So there's ones who are overextended who are like approved, but if it's whether they're approved by EMS or
it's not straight up illegal to be overextended.
Yeah.
But if you're overextended and dangerous, you're obviously a dangerous society, but if you're overextended, dangerous, and in control of yourself, you can have a pass.
Yeah.
You can be certified saying, look, yeah, he has a gun for a head, but he's not going to go on a murderous rampage.
Yeah. He's a good boy. He's a good boy, Juzo. Because he's granted immunity in return. He basically does favors for Olivia whenever he causes trouble. He shot his gun in the last one, so that's why she knows that he's done some shit. So it's cool. I'm trying to think of what happened. Okay, yeah. So I want to go episode 6. I enjoyed.
Yeah, the convoy they're in gets pulled up, and also they brought along all the other side characters who happen to be at their moment. So we have a wonderful cavalcade of just commenters coming along.
Did Hugbear get introduced in episode? Hugbear came off in episode 5, didn't he?
The big dude who hugs people to death?
Yes. Whose code name is Hugbear. And I fucking love it. Because he has
giant
people.
arms and just and hugs them to death.
And has gears in them. So he has gears in his arms. So he grinds you in a hut. It's pretty fucking brutal, actually, when you think about it.
It is. He ripped a couple dudes to pieces, except they were robots, it seems.
Yeah.
There are some people in here who are clearly just robots, not actually extended, it feels like.
In the next episode, there's people who are fully extended. So you'll see one who is called fully extended. So he's like head to toe has been extended. Like he's had cybernetic enhancements.
He's a brain in a box.
Basically, yeah. That's what I gather is what they mean by fully extended. So there seems to be a lot of them. Like there is a fuck ton of people who are extended.
Right. Everyone's kind of extended. Like, it's more rare, it seems, not to have some sort of extension. But then, overextendeds are less, and then, I don't know. Fully extended seem to be some working class. Anyway, but that's not introduced in 5 quite yet, though.
Yeah.
Definitely saw that coming with the short blonde dudes, goons.
Oh, yeah. They go into it a little bit in episode 6. It's an interesting little thing. You get a little bit more of the backstory with Juzo and his deal with Shiz.
Yeah, but it basically introduced that they need Juzo to track down like the most dangerous overextended that was in the prison that escaped, like prisoner number 1 is how it's
Gondry.
put,
Gondry, the prisoner number 1. Who looks pretty cool from his mug shots.
But that's where 5 ends, so I'm excited for 6. It just was not up yesterday when I normally expect it to be up. Neither was the next episode of Vinland Saga, now that I think about it.
When I say I watched it last night, I kind of mean I watched it at like 4 a.m. So it's probably a bit later than when you've probably checked.
Well, speaking of what time it is over there now.
Well, yeah, it's 3:45 right now. So... what else to say about No Guns Life? It was really good. One thing I just want to point out, I want to give a shout out to the voice acting and sound design, because we've mentioned the visuals before and how much we love the visuals. Obviously, there's a couple moments of CG that's just a bit like, but it's fine. Overall, it's really well detailed. But the sound design is fucking gorgeous in this show. Like the little things where, you can hear the cigarette burning when he takes a draw on it. Little things like when there's a moment in episode 6 where he walks from a wooden floor onto a carpeted floor and the sound transition is just seamless. I know that sounds like a really stupid thing to pick up on, but that kind of attention to detail, I'm all about. I'm like, yeah, that sounds right. That just sounds good. And there's just little things that make it feel like a really high quality production. So I can't wait for more No Guns Life. I'm really excited. And if anyone isn't watching No Guns Life, what the fuck you doing with your life? Go watch it. Because it's some good shit. But that's all I've watched this season so far. I do want to carry on with Babylon, or at least pick up Babylon, because it's on Amazon Prime, and I found out it was in the last couple of weeks, so definitely want to try that one. I have dropped my wrestler guy in the pet shop thing, because it was just getting a bit weird, and my enthusiasm for it waned, sadly.
Really, the guy who was hugging animal people and giving them orgasms wasn't weird enough?
Yeah, I was like...
That wasn't the kickoff point?
It was interesting to the point, and then I was like, oh, this is literally just going to be what it is. So it's a funny joke, but yeah, if you use it over and over and over and over and over again, I'm like, it's a good gag, but it loses its luster after so many times. But yeah, that's everything that I watched. So that is the end of the show, unfortunately. But I hope you enjoyed it, everyone. I know I did. Hope you did as well, Matt.
I had a good time.
He confirms it's enjoyable. That's all we need. Join us next... No, I was going to say join us next week, because we'll be doing the winter season preview. It'll be the week after, once we get into December. So that'll be I want to say
That'll be the week of the 2nd.
Yeah, it'll be the 4th of December, roughly, when we'll do it. So enjoy that, everybody. Yeah.
There'll be the 4th. I know I won't be around on the 3rd.
We'll try our best. We'll sort it anyway. So look forward to that. We'll obviously, as always, if you're new to the show, what we'll do is we will preview every single, well, maybe not every single, but we will preview
a good, decent selection of the new shows, which we have deemed to be previewable, and we might talk about some of the others.
Yeah. Then we'll get bored and just go through the list and go, fuck that shit, that's terrible. And then it'll be the best show of the season. But you can look forward to that. So, thank you for listening, everybody. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in advance.
No! Not until Thanksgiving is over.
Oh, okay. We wish you a very Merry Thanksgiving and a happy
full feelings. Go eat a lot of turkey. Even if you're not American, just go buy turkey.
Oh, shit.